Am I entitled for blowing up over husband's great uncle? So he's trying to turn this around on me, which I knew he was. He says he's disappointed in me. His mom is a hoarder and I've spent the last week throwing stuff away just for her to be passive aggressive. Update. Now he's trying to say he's sorry. That he didn't realize that's how I looked at the situation. Blah blah blah. He said he offered to go with his mom. WTF. He didn't come home early or even take a day off until my mom had been gone almost a month. So my mom, 57, I'm F25, passed away last April rather unexpectedly. I'm upset, so please be warned. When my mom died, I grieved alone. My husband nor my in-laws could take time off work, or so they said. I had to view my mother's body alone because my husband said he couldn't leave his employees in charge of a disinter-reinter. That's just fancy language in the funeral industry for having to redo a service for whatever reason. His employees have since said that they would have gladly taken over so he could have went with me. But he didn't want to leave. My mill mom got sick less than a month after my mom passed, and all that was dumped on me. Nobody seemed to remember I was grieving. My mill's uncle, so my husband's great uncle, passed away this past weekend. My husband called earlier this morning to tell me he was going to drive an hour home from work and then drive 2 hours to take his mom to the viewing at 6 p.m. Then get home at God knows what time. I blew up. I told him to fuck off and leave me alone. Anytime I say anything, I get told the situations aren't comparable or it's different. I don't see how. Nobody cared about me last year. He only said he wasn't going when I told him fine, go, but your clothes are in closet, you can get them yourself. He's a man baby who can't find something even if it's right in front of his face. I don't think I'm wrong here. Darling, why are you with this man? He and his family are abhorrent. You deserve so much better. I'm so sorry for your loss. I know how hard it is. Big hugs. You aren't wrong. Your husband can leave work to cater to his mommy when his mother's uncle dies. But not when his own wife's mother died. They certainly are comparable. Not one person in your husband's family give a damn about you, including your husband. If it were me, when he gets back from catering to mommy, all of his shit would on the front lawn and the locks would be changed. He wouldn't be staying in my bed anymore. You have read the writing on the wall correctly. No concern for his own wife? Not a class act. You have some thinking to do. Good luck. Emo, your husband's lack of love and empathy for you probably isn't going to get any better. It's also unlikely his putting his mother first isn't going to change. I'm sorry for your loss and lack of support grieving. You will have to continue to be strong. Don't rush, but decide what you want to do. Then plan accordingly. I don't think it's entitled to expect more from a partner, but blowing up is rarely constructive. Op. Is there a spare guest bedroom that you can move into? Unfortunately, your husband ILs have shown you where you stand within their family. Outside of it, you need to write down a pros v con list about your marriage relationship with ILs. My guess is that the cons side is going to be far longer than the pro side. You need to be brutally honest about your relationship with these horrible people. Also, I am so incredibly sorry for your loss. Losing a mom makes us feel like we're little again is absolutely devastating. So he's actually in the funeral business? Anyone else thinks that makes this awfulness even worse? Not the asshole. Do you have any friends you need to leave this trash fire family? They're not family. Your husband is right. The situations are different. One is about him and one is about you. He doesn't appear to have empathy and is a mama's boy. Does he show he cares about you in any other real way? Honestly, it sounds like your husband and his family have no respect for you. I'm so sorry for the loss of your mother. It's ridiculous they would think the loss of their great uncle is more important than the loss of your mother. Ma'am, I read your other post. Please leave this man. You have your own money and no kids with him. You're wasting your life with him. Leave this dude. Based on your previous posts, you do not need this shit. His SD gonna end up stabbing you someday. His mom will probably laugh. Quick question: what's the thing about your husband's clothes being in the closet and he can get them himself? Do you put his clothes out for him? I think you know exactly how bad it is and you just don't want to see it. I am so sorry that you went through something so terrible and traumatic and at the same time discovered that the person you should have relied on, trusted, and planned to live with the rest of your T care for you enough to offer any support. It's horrible, and I really hope that the condolences and backing you are getting from the Redditors helps. At least a little. Not the asshole. I am so sorry for your loss. And that your husband and his family are a bunch of shitty people. How dare he not be by your side? This was your mother. He stood before her, took vows, joined her family, and couldn't do the one thing that was his job as a husband: look out for his wife while you were in pain. I am so sorry. OP, sending you a hug from a mother. Please look after yourself, cause he sure won't, and T make sure his mother knows when it's her time. He will get the support you received from them. None. You weren't made a priority. You were used, and then last straw is how they dropped everything and pretty much showed you how unimportant the death in your family was to them. Your fucking mother. Immediate family. I don't blame you for blowing up. You are still grieving, and under all these circumstances. Woo. He's lucky you didn't do more. Girl. I'm so sorry for your loss and your husband's lack of care for you. I know you are young, but you need to think about who will be there for you if when you have kids, or if you become sick or disabled. These people won't. You're the side piece in your husband's relationship with his mother. It won't get better. Sorry for your loss. She should be calling the divorce attorney before he isn't even out of town. Taking name off the charge cards. He might get a surprise there while he's gone. Splitting bank accounts or putting a stop on any withdrawals. If car is in her name, refuse to let him take it. He can take work vehicle. His disrespect and disregard for OP's feelings shouldn't be taken lightly. Hopefully when he gets home he'll find a for sale sign in yard. What viewing did your husband miss because of work? And what was dumped on you when your husband's grandmother got sick? I was very close to my grandmother. She was hospitalized with cancer. And we knew she didn't have long. My husband, admittedly an over-the-road truck driver, knew all this and took a load going south. It took him 4 days to get to me when she passed. This was 1997. We are divorced now, and to be honest, I'm still bitter. You're married to a selfish man who can't take your feelings into consideration. I would advise therapy or an exit strategy. Don't ever allow yourself to be a third-class citizen in your own life. The house is yours. You don't have children. If he wants his clothes, then he can collect them from his mother's porch step, along with everything else he owns. You aren't wrong. What it sounds like is everything that is related to your husband's family takes precedence over anything that happens to yours. Your mom died and it wasn't important to him or his family. Not only do you have an in-law problem, but the biggest problem is your husband. Tell me, us outside of this. How is he really? How does he treat you? Does he have your back when your in-laws snipe at you? If you're sick, does he take care of you? If you two have kids, does he help raising them, or is he off dicking around the cemeteries and seeking around with his bio family? Why isn't Mill taking her own mother in? Every time I have had any significant death in my family, It led to the end of a relationship because it really opened my eyes to how shitty these people I was with were. The first was my grandfather. Divorced 6 months later after learning he lied and told his family I didn't want him coming to the funeral with me. Second one was when my dad died when I was 25 and realized I was on a similar path as the first, but thankfully not yet married. Noped right out of there, and after a few more failed relationships, found an absolutely amazing man. Life is too short to deal with BS like that. What would mom say? Be strong and clear your thoughts. Make the sound choices that is right for you. May your journey be lightened by your faith. Hibiscus. Your husband likes your money. But, between your last post and this one, he doesn't like you. Literally every problem you have will be solved with a divorce. You weren't wrong. He is an insensitive ass. I'm so sorry for your loss. Crying. You're definitely not wrong. They're the entitled ones, and you clearly married a mama's boy who has absolutely no regards for your feelings. Just like his family. Ty would be a hill I'd die on. Honestly, you want to live the rest of your married life coming in second place to his mom or other family members? No, and I'd seriously consider divorce, as this just proves he doesn't care about you and will always value his family before you too. Also, he takes you for granted. When was the last time he did something nice for you? I hope you find the strength to find someone who deserves you and puts you first. You are worth more than this. They've proven to you what they are, selfish assholes, and what they value, not you. Twice now. If you stay, they'll just keep proving it. Either manage your expectations, they won't change. So if you're staying, know that this will always be your life. Or make some changes. Far be it of me to hop on this trend of everybody on Reddit telling people they need to leave their spouses. But girl, you really need to leave yours. I read your other post. I am so sorry for the loss of both of your parents. Your husband's entire family, including himself, are not worth it. You are so young. And if my math is correct, your husband, who was almost 30, getting involved with someone who was barely out of their teens. Face with peeking eye grimace, upside down face. You can do better. Your life will be so much lighter if you just lose the whole lot of them. Best of luck with your decisions, op. May you soon live the life you deserve. My husband can't stand my mother, but this man drove halfway across the country with me. Our kids say he could be there for me at my grandmother's funeral. That's how you support your partner during a loss. Hi op. Even after 2 years, I'm still grieving. I sure hope you get help. It's not easy. Just breathe. Remember the happy times with your mama. Take care. He's a boss. You deserve so much better. I'm sorry if that's rude to say, but your own mother? My stepfather was there every day for my mom and her family, as my grandmother had cancer and was dying. He used to even clip grandma's toes to show grace and love to the woman who birthed the woman he loved. So my mind can't wrap around this. My mill passed away last year and I took the whole week off. Husband did the same when my dad died. Why are you married to this man? Seriously, why? My spouse and I are separated and likely divorcing in the next 6 months. But when one of her parents passes, even if it's her mom who is a horrible person, I will still attend the funeral. You aren't being entitled at all. Get rid of him, the rest of them go too, you'll be happier. It's different and not comparable because it happened to him and not you. Get out or something. This behavior won't change. Do you have children? Because if you do or plan on it, be prepared to do that yourself too. I'm so sorry. I can only imagine the devastation that is losing your mother. Nothing would be a barrier at that time to comfort my partner when such a time comes. Yes, great uncles are family. But I'd be hard-pressed to find many adults who got the chance to be close in any regard to their Great uncles, aunts, or maybe that's just my family. I've met them maybe once. I would be heartbroken to see this reaction over losing my mother. It would never sit right with me. Never would I not be hurt. I'm very sorry, this is such a tough spot to be in. I wish you all the strength to continue navigating your grief and the grief of this situation. The reason he's saying he's sorry now is he doesn't want to lose wife as appliance. He's already shown you just how little he cares about you. His behavior is the truth. Not his regretful words now that he realizes he might lose wife as appliance, and that would be inconvenient for him. You should head on over to some of the mother-in-law Reddits and read them. He's enmeshed and likely codependent. Do you want to play second fiddle to his mommy for the rest of your marriage? You've got a right to feel used, abused, and discarded. I've always said that I would rather be alone and happy than miserable with someone else. Your husband SCKS. His family SCKS. Contact an attorney. See what you can and cannot do legally and make a plan. Also, think about finding a grief support group so you can connect with others who understand and you can receive support. Good luck. You're obviously a caring person. You deserve better. You are not a doormat. Your relationship is not cemented during the good times. Your relationship is cemented during the bad. You are entitled to be pissed and to want more. If you don't get it from him, get it from yourself. In other words, you need to want more. He's right. The situations aren't comparable. His wife's mother died. That's as far higher on a priorities list than a great uncle. Your husband is a world-class inconsiderate He never even took a day off? I'm so sorry you had to go through that alone and have to deal with such an Show him these replies. That should shake some sense into him. Just divorce now or go to couples therapy right now. You have those two options. Your husband doesn't respect you at the same level he does himself. Very, very, very common in marriages. One-way street. I don't drive on them, I go around. Leave him PLZ. I'm so sorry about your mother and that you were alone in your grief. Your husband should have been there. Sending hugs if you would like some. You are not wrong. I'm sorry for your loss. Please take the time you need for grief. Also, ignore those insensitive jerks. Tell them you are busy grieving for your mom and don't have time for them right now. You are not wrong at all. Your husband only cares when it is his family and didn't care when your mom passed. I would seriously rethink your relationship. You aren't wrong. They want you to cater to them, but no one wants to return the favor when you are in need. Holy shit. Your husband's family is a fucking dumpster fire. I just read your other post. Why in the world are you still dealing with them? Your husband sounds like a boss that only cares for himself. His daughter is batshit crazy. You're 25. Why put yourself through all of this? You've stayed in this marriage way too long. Find a lawyer and get out. You're 25. Not too late to start running away fast from this selfish family. Build a new life with people who care and love you unconditionally. You're young and don't waste your life with these type of people. Am I reading this wrong? Your husband is in the funeral industry as well? And he wasn't there to support you when your mother died? I'm so sorry for your loss of your mom. Pack his shit up and tell him go be the woman whom he will support through loss. He's an idiot to have neglected you. I just read your other post, and lady, you need to get rid of your husband. This man and his extended family are nothing but trouble. It also sounds like there may be some racism issues going on there. Not just with his psycho ex. Get rid of the dead weight, then get some therapy to help you deal with all this shit so you can live a happier life. I'm so sorry you're going through all this. I hate when on here people say to leave immediately a relationship. But honestly, this time, I would pack all his stuff, kick him out and change the locks. If he can't be emotionally available for you, then why bother be in a relationship? Well, he's right that they are not really comparable in this relationship. His mom could have gotten another ride or driven herself to her uncle's funeral. Or maybe it's a special thing with the three of them and they're just that close or whatever. But none of those people are his wife. His great uncle is not his mill. A mother grieving her uncle is very different than a spouse grieving their parent. You should have been his priority, and it sounds like you're the last thing he's concerned with. Hey husband, yeah, you listen up. Sorry isn't good enough. You failed your wife and you need to figure out how to make it up to her. Words are not enough. It's your responsibility to figure out what actions need to be taken. We internet strangers are disappointed in you. Do better. My heart just breaks for you. How callous to make you go alone. It's really out of order. Even worse that another funeral home broke ties with him because of his awful behavior and he still doesn't see it. I know I could not have got through seeing my brother's body at the funeral home without my other half. I really don't know how you did that alone. I say divorce his ass. Or at least you might want to start considering it, because, to me, this is screaming narcissistic behavior. Can't be bothered with you or your feelings unless it means keeping you appeased just enough to stay with him under his thumb. He lied to you about his work and his availability and didn't even try to hide that fact when something he actually cares about comes up. I can only imagine what else he hasn't done for you. He clearly does not care for you as much as a good husband should. You have every right to blow up on him. Wow, those people are all trash. Not the asshole. Valid reaction. He's quite selfish and inconsiderate to leave his grieving wife. I don't normally instantly jump to divorce. But this time divorce him. I can't not imagine being married but still being forced to do everything alone when a parent passed. I wouldn't care what I had to do. My spouse would not be viewing their loved one alone. No fucking way. Your husband and his whole family are assholes. You're young. Leave and start over. You deserve so much more. Not the asshole. I am so sorry for your loss, honestly. Your husband and his family should be ashamed of themselves. So sad. Mama's boy will always pick them before you. Your husband and his family don't respect you and you can tell they don't like you. It's time to reconsider your relationship with them. These people don't care about you, they care about what you can do for them. Based on this post and your other one, at the very least, couples counseling would be in both of your best interest. Go in separate cars. The vast majority of problems are solved between people when each believe they are heard and understood. Time apart may also be a benefit, especially considering all that has happened. Leave that worthless family fucking scare me. Sound like sociopaths. No emotional awareness whatsoever. I'm so sorry for your loss of your mother, and also for your awful husband and in-laws. Get a good lawyer. You have resources. I read your other post. Get out now. Your life with these people is never going to improve. I am so sorry. Your mom was so young. Your husband, his family seem to barely value your family. It's awful that you had to face that alone. Please get someone, a therapist, good friends, to talk about this with. You need love and sympathy. Also, evaluate your marriage. No one should have to go through that alone, especially if they have a spouse who is supposed to support them in all good and bad things in life. Life can be so short, as you know all too well. Is this the man family you want to spend your time with? I'm sorry. Your husband doesn't love you, and probably doesn't like you either. You deserve happiness, love, and to heal in peace. Which sounds like your husband is in opposition to. Put it all down in writing. Every way in which they all hurt you during one of the hardest times of your life. How an uncle is not comparable to losing a parent. And ask him how he would feel if you ignored him if it was his mom that died. Don't be gaslit by anyone because they may turn on you. Look out for you and think if you want to spend your life with someone who didn't care to support you. But will his family? Sure, you don't want to consider divorce? I'd divorce a man like that. I'm so sorry for your loss. I'm especially sorry that the one person who should have been your support was not. If you want to salvage your marriage, may I suggest couples counseling? If DH won't go alone so you have support as you decide what to do. You're not wrong at all. You are his wife. You are much closer to him than his great uncle. He wasn't there for you at all. He should have come home to you and supported you when your mother passed. My husband came home from work when my dog passed away. Mew dog lived with my mother. That's what a good husband does. He's a boss. Leave him immediately. You are worth so much more. He truly doesn't care an iota for how you feel. Only his grief and his family's inconvenience and feelings matter to him. That means he's excluded you from his family even though you're his wife. You need to make this man-child leave. If they can't treat you like family, and your very valid feelings are disregarded and tossed aside, get out. When my grandmother died, my husband straight up told his boss, I'm not coming in until XXXX. I need to attend this funeral with my wife. And we immediately flew home. You're still young. Find someone who treats you with respect and, hopefully, a family who respects you as well. If you want to stay with him, you both should do marriage counseling. But I don't have high hopes when it comes to someone who seems to drop everything and run to mommy. Mommy is always gonna be his number one. Girl, my ex of 15 years ago showed up to my grandma's funeral because he knew her. Your husband is trash to not support for your mom. I dumped this idiot like yesterday. My boyfriend had just started a new job when my mom got ill and ended up in hospital. He literally couldn't take the time off. The day she died a week later, I rang him up at work and he walked out of his job so he could be there for me. Not the asshole. You have a husband problem. Why are you with someone who has so little regard for you? Get a divorce lawyer. You are not wrong. You deserve more. One word for you. Divorce. Do you have a guest bedroom where you can move all of your husband's clothes? Emo, you are not the asshole. People hate when the script is flipped on them. I don't think you legally can kick him out though. If anything, your hub's AITA. So is the rest of his family. Talk to a lawyer. I am so sorry about your mom. I lost my mom too, and you are one strong person if you did that viewing alone. I think if I were in your situation off this alone, it would have totally changed my feelings towards my partner at the time. How they abandoned you to your grief is just shattering. Somehow they then get worse with the rest. Do you want to be in this family? If I was you, I'd never go to a funeral of your husband's family. I wouldn't even acknowledge the death. Totally toxic family and emotionally absent husband. That's rough op. No, you aren't wrong. Throw this whole family out. Time to throw him out. You deserve to be with someone who loves and supports you. Your husband is not that person. Best of luck. IFVG. Yeah, I had to read this a few times. But yeah, you're 100 fucked up in this situation. Regardless of what happened with your mom or whomever. You made the situation about you when it's his family that died. Pretty fucking selfish. Despite popular opinion, men can be their own entity in a relationship and care about more people than just you. If the relationship is over, I'd suggest a good therapist. Confused? Not wrong. Maybe you need to sit down and chat with all of these people. So you passed away last April rather unexpectedly? How did you come back to life? Whose writing is this? What is real and am I in a simulated reality? You are being a whiny woman child. Women hot beverage. He's doing this for his mother. You're just jealous because you're not the only person in his life. You're selfish AF. NTE not the entitled but your husband's great uncle as though. Update me. You are far from wrong. They can't comfort you while you grieved over your mother. You shouldn't give them even a tear. He didn't go to your mother's funeral? Human garbage. My girlfriend's best friend's boyfriend who works at 21 Flavors agrees with you. Every time he irritates you or is nasty to you, take something of his and hide it. Maybe a sock or something. You are not wrong. You are not wrong. Seems like your boyfriend discards your feelings. Same happened to me. My parents passed a year apart in another state. My husband is retired but was full of excuses about how he can't leave, but there really wasn't anything pressing that required his attention. I had to grieve alone both times. That was in 2012 and 2013. I'm still mad about it. Doubt I will ever get over it at this point. Not wrong. Sorry for your loss. Sorry your husband is a useless husband. Make yourself your number one priority. Look after you and no one else. Don't fuss over your useless husband. Take time out if you need. Maybe time away from your husband and his family is what you need. I am so sorry this is what happened when your mom died. That isn't right. You deserve to have all the love and care in your grief. Hugs no. You aren't acting entitled and it isn't okay that he is giving his mother more care and attention than he did you. Your feelings are totally valid. They matter and they are important. This isn't how it is supposed to be. You are as far from wrong as possible. The amount of guys choosing their mothers over their spouses is staggering. He's delusional, a whole piece of crap. It's definitely the exact same situation. Divorce him already, so not worth it. Sheesh. The two situations are different because one impacts his mommy and the other his wife. Guess where you fit in the pecking order? Up. I'm sorry for your loss. It is never easy to lose a parent. And especially hard when it's so quick and unexpected. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. He is. Your husband is a huge aw. I'd be divorcing his $1. I'm so sorry for your loss. Your husband is an that doesn't prioritize you at all. Have you tried couples counseling? Contact the best divorce lawyer in your town to find out options before you act. Good luck. His behavior is sociopathic. Be careful. When my mom's mom died, my parents had been divorced for 15 years. Yet even my dad's parents and his brother and SIL came to the funeral. None of them are super in contact with my mom anymore. They were just being decent. Sarcasm mode. Of course it's different. Because now it's all about him. Sarcasm mode. Sorry. Up. Looks like you need to instruct your husband on how grieving works. Have you explained to him what and where the tear ducts are? Wow. He's a horrible husband. Update me please. Let him know his clothes are on your front lawn. My husband has social anxiety and hates funerals and still came with me when my mom died. You're blowing up about the lack of care and empathy, not about the uncle. I had an ex who didn't see the necessity of participating in funeral or other fellowship communal familial situation with my side of the family. His family we had to bend over backwards for. Part of why he is an ex. The idea of being there because he's my partner and I need his support was some kind of foreign idea. Sounds like your husband deserves to be served divorce papers that specifically state there is a unreconcilable difference in how one expects grief support after giving none. Drop this man. He brings nothing to you in times of need. Question: is your husband a functional adult? Seems like he fancies you are his mommy. FYI, my husband would drop everything for my fam and I would for his. That is part of the deal. Friends. You should show him all of us calling him a tight-ass dickwad who is a complete narcissist and cares only about himself and that he deserves to spend his life miserable and alone. If he made you go through all of that alone, he's not your partner. He sounds more like a selfish man, baby mama's boy. For the sake of your long-term happiness and mental well-being, please think about whether you want to spend your whole life with someone so unwilling to support you and with such little regard for your feelings. I would be changing the locks. Looks like his mommy will always come first. Can you live with that? Make this the hill you plant your flag on. This thing is incoherent. I can't make head nor tail of it. Oh geez. Sue, not the entitled one here. I would just have a conversation with him first. If and when you're ready and feel up to it. But that is just another level of disrespect. If he doesn't see a problem with it, I'd consider reevaluating the relationship. I'm so sorry this happened to you. And I'm so sorry for your loss. But definitely talk to him. Let him know that what he did was such a dick thing to do. And if he doesn't seem to give a shit, dump his ass. Know you have an army behind you in these comments. Growing heart. Girl, why are you with this man? Prepare your escape plan. Hurt his wallet on the way out and get a better partner, cuss you deserve love and affection. Wishing you the best, heart. He's showing you how much he cares. In that, he doesn't. I'd be done. The apology is also awful. He didn't realize that's how you looked at the situation, just puts it all back on you. Not that he messed up and was awful, but that your perspective is different than he thought it would be. What a cop-out. Mate, get a lawyer and divorce him. Have a reboot of your life. His family sound as awful as him.